We are Keiki Fire and Light, and it's just me and my brothers and sisters, and we spin fire.
We moved to Hawaii from Alaska, and the kids did a Polynesian summer camp. Part of that camp is a 6-week camp was fire spinning. And so for 5 weeks they practiced, and on the 6th week they lit their little poi balls on fire. So it was pretty nerve-wracking because I'd never seen anything like that before.
It was fun. They have us 5 weeks to practice with the practice fire knives, and then if you keep doing it over and over for the whole 6 weeks and not hit yourself, they'll let you light up at the end of the 6 weeks.
They only said they get to fire dance, and so we're just like, yeah, we'll go fire dance. We're all dancers in our family, except for my brother. The first time I lit up, I dropped them. I just put them right back down and ran away. Well, they didn't tell you right when you light them up, it's just gonna kind of all over the place. So it like came up and like almost touched my hand and kind of freaked me out. Once you light them up, you gotta keep them moving.
My heart wanted to jump out of my chest. I was so scared of that back then. We sort of stuck with the same camp for a little while and then kind of got bored with it, and then we decided to do our own routine.
I never thought art or acting would be something that my kids would be interested in, just because a lot of times they have trouble with new people or new situations. But doing that 6-week camp, to see them just totally step outside themselves, and it was amazing to see the difference in them, really, because I mean, my son can be so quiet sometimes, and everybody, when he goes out on stage and he does a flip and he's just like, wow, everybody's like, where did that come from? And I'm like, I know. The 3 girls are definitely more standoffish. They like to watch and see how things are going to play out before they join in. Tater's always been very overly social. He'll talk to anybody usually. I think it helps make a new box by doing the fire dancing. They can have the artistic freedom, they can try new things, and they can perform, so that really helps them with their confidence, with their self-esteem, with their abilities just to want to try new things, which are hard for them.
Well, I've always been a dancer. I've been dancing since I was 3 until we moved to Hawaii, and I stopped for a little while. And when I was 13, I started dancing ballet again. And I broke my foot right before I got my pointe shoes.
She was dancing, 25 hours a week. She was doing ballet and flamenco, and that was her whole goal. She worked all year to just really, I can't even believe how hard she worked at it. I didn't realize the floors weren't spring, and some of the exercises they were doing, they were having kids stand on their feet, trying to stretch them, and it actually broke her foot when they were doing it. It still hurts her. She has to tape it a lot. So choreography has been one of those outlets for her, because she really does direct all the kids and where they need to be, and so she's really picking up on the behind the scenes. But yeah, it's still, you can see it's really disappointing for her not to be able to be on point. Tater got a TBI when he was 11. It was kind of like a stroke on his right side. He was blind, and he had they call it almost like a footballer's headache, extreme migraine constantly. So because of his injury, he can't do contact sports, and it definitely altered his personality a lot. So it's taken a long time to recover from that. He was on sensory deprivation for 4 months. So there couldn't be any noise in the house, and he had to wear sound blocking headphones and welding glasses.
It wasn't until my second traumatic brain injury that I couldn't do sports. Felt like someone was taking a vice and just clamping my brain. It hurt bad.
It was a shock that he was able to get up on stage and like he becomes somebody else. I mean, he gets this amped up high energy and he's doing flips and he's so not his normal, just mellow, everyday behavior. Just to be able to switch gears like that is, I never thought that would happen, especially after the injury. I think art is amazing for being able to express yourself, where sometimes some of the music they pick, you know, it's totally expressing what they're feeling, and they're able to dance and be in front of a crowd. So I think it really helps with being able to express emotions that normally they wouldn't feel like they could express. We were on Hawaii for almost 4 years, and the kids really wanted to be off the island and, you know, have real stores. And so coming to Minnesota and getting to help family and, you know, to see big cities, and you know, it was definitely an experience because Kauai is so small.
When we first came here, we were just helping out my mom's sister with her twins. So that's one of the reasons why we came up here, just to help her with that for the whole summer. And then when we got the RV, we just decided to just go through all 50 states.
We arrived in New London a couple weeks ago, and the kids are getting ready for the Water Days Festival that they have every year in New London. And the kids put together a whole new show, and they'll be spinning before the fireworks.
Sometimes we have arguments when we're setting up or kind of in the middle of the show when, like, where's this, who's going on? Sometimes it's kind of a pain, but it all works out in the end.
It's very hard to dance with your siblings. I mean, we already fight a lot, and you're trying to boss each other around to do different dances and learn different moves, and it's hard.
But I think having 4 kids that have a common interest and that they're working together, I think that blows my mind, you know, and they go at it and they get frustrated and have to walk away from their routines, but to see them come back together and when it's showtime, they're on.
Well, usually we already have the music trimmed and we kind of just play the music over and over. We kind of go through the show. Right before the show, we'll do a run through with fire, but usually practice without fire. I haven't burnt myself yet. Everybody else has burnt themselves though. After Tater got burned really pretty bad, I got really scared to dance for a while, but got over that.
I've been burned many times. I've lit my hand on fire, my hair, cut my legs. Doing one move, the knife came really close, nicked the back of my hair. I was wanting to give yourself a haircut.
Oh, fire, fire! You're good.
Fire dancing has definitely changed our lives a lot, but just to see them, when you see them turn on the performance, it's so worth it.
Performing is my favorite part of it, just getting to do something that's cool in front of all these people, their reactions, they see little kids, well not that little, but kids lighting things on fire and dancing, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, I know it's really fun for me, and sometimes after I'm done doing my performance, I see these other kids, they try to do what I do. It just makes me laugh because, I mean, it's just kind of funny watching them trying to do what I do.
I think that children in the art, or children doing art in all forms, is the most magical life experience they can have.
Visit pioneer.org/postcards to catch up on missed episodes and to find out more about your favorite segments. This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yakel-Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts, offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflections Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota. Explore hundreds of lakes, trails, and attractions for a great vacation or a place to hold an event. ExploreAlex.com. Tri-State Brain and Spine Institute, with locations in Alexandria, Edina, Crookston, and Maple Grove. Doctors dedicated to evaluating and treating all types of brain and spine problems, no matter how complex.